Have you ever wondered, seriously, have you ever wondered or asked yourself, why in the world do most speeches suck so bad? Lord, why do most speeches suck so bad? This question haunted me for years. I've seen it multiple continents, multiple countries, too many cities to keep track of. It's horrible. It's as if the bottom line state of most regular people getting out on stage to speak kind of looks like this. Now, they might be in the back because they read a LinkedIn article and they're in the back doing some power posing because they read some sort of an article that said that if they stand a certain way or breathe a certain way for a while, it's going to trigger hormones in them and then they're going to feel confident. Yeah, they might have some trick on the outside, but internally, secretly, the night before, going to the event, and as soon as their psychological hack wears off, the underlying state is kind of like this. That's because it's dangerous. You don't feel safe on stage. Let's fix this here today, and let's make sure you don't have one of the worst things you could have on stage, office-itis or cubicle-itis. So let's get started. And yes, dear objection cam, I can hear you, and no, it has nothing to do with words. I'll not teach you a secret script, a secret formula, a secret forgotten word, or a way of pronouncing your words, or diction exercises with a pen. You will not have to put a pen in your mouth and do any type of weird exercises. This is all pre-verbal. So just as fast as you can, just come out here to this camera, because this here is about, you're going to do all this. Start feeling safe on stage. Have more impact, influence, and income using speaking for your business, your ideas, your products and services without changing a word you say. Of course, your words will change when your baseline states and confidence kicks up, but the word change will be a result of the confidence change and not the other way around. So just come back here to this camera. This is where the learning happens. And here, your goal for you is to get out there, kick butt, take names, and grow your impact, influence, income, and reach. So, just to give you some context about this. I mean, I've been hired as a corporate entertainer in multiple countries, cities, and continents. And I'm backstage with the CEO. See this all the time with the CEO, the boss, the VP, whoever's in charge. And that person has heft, presence, some sort of a gaze that, you're not supposed to don't mess with me, okay? I got you. So these people kind of have like a soul-staring gaze, don't mess with me type of attitude. We're backstage, of course, we're vibing, so that's cool. All right, we're vibing backstage, we're having conversation, chilling. Now I see these people go, let me just get a piece of paper here, and I see these people go walk on stage and go like this. Then I see them transform into a smaller person, and then I watch them deliver shitty speeches to their own organizations. Now I'm sitting there backstage thinking, what in the world I just saw this guy or this girl, confident, fully formed adult, transform into a kid, shaking, speaking to his own organ. Now, I know you've been on stages, you've went to conferences where you sat in the back. I'll see you. You sat in the back thinking, well, if this is horrible, I'm going to slip out, okay? In these cases, you can't slip out because that's the boss speaking. If you're the boss and people are not slipping out just because you're the boss, man, you need to come on that camera. This is where the learning happens. You just come to this camera. Only reason people are not leaving the room is because they'll get fired if they do. So you have somebody in a position of authority who does not even feel safe in that moment, reading a boring script, shaking, delivering that to their organization. And I'm thinking, what in the world is going on? And mind you, okay, I'm not making fun of anybody. I understand the not being at easeness. Remember, I'm an ex-chronic stutterer. No sound would come out of my face. I understand this. But just when I see it, in CEOs, VPs, executives, and presidents, people with an imaginary name tag that says, you should listen to me. Still don't feel safe. So I was, man, there has to be something. So come in here and learn. So one time it got so bad, I'm backstage with the CEO. And we're talking, and then I start telling her about this time I was with this other place with this other company, and blah, 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 and there was this going on, and there was this great speaker, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she went, I don't know this lady, okay? I don't know her. I don't know the company. I'm there as an entertainer. I'm booked as a musician on that thing. And she says, could you do my speech now, please? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know these people. I just met you. Yeah. So, well, on all fairness, I had played for their company the previous year before, like their corporate party. So that the second year I played with them, but still I didn't know anybody there. I kind of know her first name, and she knows me by first name basis. But like, okay, now do my speech. I'm like, see, I don't have the authority to get there and do the CEO speech. I'm the corporate entertainer dude that comes in to do this thing. Anyway, we're going to see how this pans out when we're going to go over in this video how to avoid this using office-itis, and then how also who you are to who you're speaking to is more important than what you say. So we'll get there later. So first thing, what's the S stands for here that has you not being safe on stage? The first thing is self-doubt. So what does self-doubt sound like? Self-doubt. This is like an autonomous response. You don't even need anyone else to screw yourself, or you're screwing yourself over. You don't even need nobody else. Self-doubt will kill you before the event, during the event, and after the event. Self-doubt makes it so that you don't even start. You don't even get booked. You don't even create opportunities to go speak. Self-doubt makes it so that you're in a room, you're in a place. The vibe changes. An opportunity comes, you can sniff it. It's a time where if you just nod, raise your hand, or just stand up or say something, you'll have the opportunity and you don't take it. You don't think you have what it takes. Secretly, you don't think what, of course, public, save face. No, it's just, it was a bad timing. Unfortunately, this year is not the proper time because we have to, I get this. Secretly inside, all these types of secret things inside is what messes it up. Self-doubt. Self-doubt is also, this is before. Now, during the event, this is nuclear level disaster. It's an underlying checking if Bob is impressed. Oh, is Sue liking this? Is Bob impressed? So as you're on stage, when you're supposed to be performing, delivering, transforming, informing, changing people's lives, get them to get off their butt and do something. You're there, split your attention in half between what you're doing, making sure you look good. Oh, am I okay? I hope is my fly open? Am I good enough? Oh my God. So there's that going on, which is a tab in your computer. Then there's the tab that's like checking the reaction of Bob in real time to see if he's impressed. Oh, did I see? Oh, then this. Oh, that didn't come out right. So then they're beating yourself over the head while checking if Bob noticed, while thinking about your fly. Oh, is my hair okay? Oh my God, is something good? Oh my God, there's this going on, which takes RAM, CPU power. Your central processing unit is divided with too many open tabs because of self-doubt. It robs you of your confidence before the event by not even getting started. During the event and after, you just beat yourself over the head like a maniac. Should have said this, should have said that. Keep on rehashing. If, God forbid, you make a mistake, and we all make mistakes on stage, good Lord. I mean, I make these YouTube videos. English is my second language. This is my fourth video, I believe, and in every one of them, there's at least a word that I've never said in English that on the spot, on camera, I'm thinking to myself, how do I say that in English? I never even know, okay? Making a fool of yourself is as you're stretching, you're naturally doing things, okay? This is my second language. I'm doing this for you so you can get over yourself, so you can get in that camera, so you can get over yourself, get your story straight, get out there, take names. That has nothing to do with me. You don't really care about me. You care about you, and that's a good thing. Get out there, because when you get out there, people don't really care about you. They care about them. So I help you get over yourself, so you help other people get over themselves, and we all have a better life because, man, look around here. By the way, just a quick parenthesis. This imposter syndrome thing is an honest, intelligent people's disease. Have you ever noticed that crooks, idiots, bandits, liars, and thieves don't have imposter syndrome? I've coached people with more diplomas that their wallet can handle, and they're secretly feeling, just one more book, just one more course. They never feel up to par. This is not this video, we'll do something else, but the more you know, the more you have a contact surface with ignorance. So the more your knowledge circle grows, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. So idiots that know this much are good to go, and they're ruling the world. Because they're on stage, they're on TV, they're on the radio, they're on the waves, they got all the followers, they got all the influence, while you're sitting at home thinking, I'm not quite ready yet because of self-doubt. Snap out of it. If you don't know how, we got the tools to help you do this, all right? Next up, another reason why you don't feel safe on stage, where the underlying feeling is kind of like this. Okay, even though you did some power breathing at a LinkedIn before, what you got next is anxiety. Now, what is anxiety? People who make a lot of anxiety, and people in French we say, it's a beautiful expression, je fais de l'anxiété, which would mean I am currently making anxiety. Like the way we say it in French, the verb literally means I am producing it, I am making it right now. Okay? It's not something that happens to you. It's not like I'm anxious. It's I'm currently making anxiety. How do you do this? You first have to be an expert visualizer. You make crystal clear images of the worst possible scenarios that could happen. You put yourself in a one-piece suit of feeling those bad things that happen at the first person level. So you are in the character. You're not watching the movie. You're in the movie, and then you do Hollywood-style special effects with Prismacolors, and then you slow down to feel it deeply when the really bad part happens, and you feel that in slow motion. Oh yeah. And then you push against that. Oh, I don't want that to happen. And this is what you're doing in your mind as you're thinking your thoughts, driving your car, or trying to sleep. This is a thing you are producing. You're making these mental movies. I'm not doing this. Okay, what I described just there as the making of the mental movies, you're not doing this on purpose. Fearful thoughts, fearful feelings, it could be traumas, things that happened in your past that were not fully processed, are feelings that generate these thoughts. If you're stuck with this, don't mess with any particular thought. There's a thing in French that says, gosse-moi pas sur l'exemple, which would mean, let's not get up on the example. So an example for me, like you have this particular fear, or that particular fear, or that particular anxiety about this or about that. Never mind the particular details, go to the root of the thing, which is kind of a feeling. And these feelings, you deal with one feeling, you can knock off 1,000 thoughts at once. Okay, if you don't know how to do this, it's free, baby. I got nothing to sell you here. It's free. Just go in the academy. First 14 days, get you rid of these feelings. It'll show you how. If you are a kinesthetic person, a visual person, or a concept person, how to rid yourself of that stuff. Anxiety will rob you of your greatness. You won't even get started. If you do, you're over-prepare, under-deliver. You're trying to compensate because of you're trying to make everything perfect. And then you imagine, I'll get laughed at. All the bad things that will happen if Bob is not impressed. You undersleep because you spent the whole night redoing your slides. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You spend the whole night redoing your slides, and then you bomb on stage because you didn't sleep the last night before. What is that if it's not self-doubt and anxiety? There's more, but let's keep on moving on. This is getting quite long. Safe. You don't feel safe. So that That's what contributes to the feeling of kind of that thing going on stage. And then you go for vocal lessons. Say it like you mean it. By now? No. Then you say you got to speak louder. By now? and then they give you embedded commands. By now. You should understand that blah, blah, blah. And then they give you embedded commands in that state, right? The state is more important than anything you will ever say. Remember, words come out of you. You don't come out of words, okay? So the third thing we got false beliefs in general. So false beliefs, but also like presuppositions, assumptions. What are presuppositions? If you don't know what a presupposition is, if I said like the cat jumped off the table, well, I don't need to specify that there was a floor because the table was on the floor. I didn't say that. I did not say there was a floor and then the table was on top of, and then the cat jumped. I didn't say, well, there was a planet, and I didn't say there was a sun, and there was a universe. I didn't say that. It presupposes everything else. In your mind, if I say the cat jumped off the table, if you look in your mind at the picture that was created really, really fast, you can kind of see a cat jumping off of the table. Now, the table could be different colors. The cat can be a different color. That's called being specifically vague. If you're into hypnosis, and by the way, I have a lot of hypnotists as clients. One of the things about hypnosis is that people think that hypnosis is a thing that happens when you go see a hypnotist. That's a bad idea. You need to realize, especially if you don't feel safe on stage, that the whole damn thing, baby, is hypnosis. The way you talk to yourself is a self-hypnosis tape you have going on all day. So think about it. Because self-hypnosis is always more powerful than hypnosis itself. So how much dollars would people have to pay, would gladly pay, to not listen to your self-hypnotic tape you're telling yourself all day long? The tone of voice you speak to yourself in. The presuppositions you take for granted that you're not good at. All the false beliefs. I'm not good at this. I always fill in the blank. They will never buy this. They always blah, blah. Blanket statements about yourself, the market, the audience. False beliefs, baby. You need tools to work with this. You need tools to work with this. See what I did there? That's called anchoring, by the way. All jokes aside, the Academy's got your back. And it's for free, got nothing to sell here. 14 days, go out and check it out. Click the link somewhere. Okay, so beliefs will fall into, not beliefs about you believe in God or the universe or something like that. I mean, beliefs about your capabilities, what's possible in the market, in the current situation, what's going on. False beliefs, okay? And there's so many of them, it's not even fair. We're basically bred to be slaves and not use our power and give it away to greater authority. You need to take the power back. That's at that level. Next up, what we got, the fourth thing that makes most people kind of like this, which is why public speaking is so scary and most speeches suck so bad. Number 4, what you got here, is the feeling of being exposed. People say things like, feel like I'm naked on stage. You got nothing to hide. Of course you got nothing to hide. Well, you can try to hide. I mean, this one time, I just thought about this. I was in Costa Rica filming something in the jungle. No, jungle-ita, let's say. I got this camera here. As I'm filming, I got a stick because I know that there's a lot of snakes where I am. Well, I heard about it, so I got a stick in case there's snakes. I hear something go behind the camera. Now, consciously, I just kind of take a kind of quick look, and I keep on filming. Wrap it up, close the camera, and leave. Okay. I heard something. Then 3 bulldogs ran like this. I looked at the video clip. My eyes quickly scanned, came back. Then my conscious mind kicked in. Then I had time to look myself and come back. Thousands, millions, billions of years of evolution of life that scan for things that they see in an instant before the conscious thing that basically decide whatever that is, do I kill it, eat it, or mate with it. Is this a friend, a foe? What is that thing that I just saw? So you step on stage. The billions of years of evolution of the subconscious mind of the audience scans you like this. Boom. Before you have time to influence them with your beautiful little trick that you learned with your posture thingy, right? That's too late. So the feeling of being exposed is real. So if you're lying, cheating, stealing on purpose and you know it, this is where there's a disconnect, where it's hard to come across as authentic. That's why they say authenticity is a secret. Now, if you're not a crook, a bandit, a liar, or a thief, and you have the audience's best interest at heart for real, then whatever you're feeling as being exposed is not being exposed for your lies. It's something else. Some people are just like, let's be honest, some people are just self-conscious about their looks. Like, one of the first reflexes, oh, I gotta get on stage, we gotta lose 20 pounds. Gotta get a new haircut, gotta buy a new suit. There's physical appearance is the thing. Voice, I gotta fix my accent, gotta fix my whatever it is. Self-consciousness of being exposed, feeling insecure about this. Now, don't try this at home. Okay, just come back to this camera here. Don't try this at home, but I once got in trouble for, I told this to a feminist lesbian that I did not know. I was just giving an example. Don't try this at home, I tell you. I was telling her that, coming back to where I was wondering why do most speeches suck so bad, is I realized that people thought, and it's been taught like this for thousands of years, for God's sake, there's been public speaking training courses since 2,000 years ago at least, okay? And 70% of the world's population is still terrified of that. So whatever we've been doing from thousands of years to now has not kind of been working at all. Which my slice of looking at this was like this long, and I thought, why does it suck so bad? That's because the public speaking training industry has kind of went the way of, oh, here's what you say, here's how you say it, now get out there and get laughed at until you get feeling confident. That's pretty much it. Now, I was telling that because they don't know that there are deep, subconscious, emotional, spiritual, physical, and energetic tools to free you of what makes you unconfident to begin with. So they just take it as, that's how you are. Now say this. No, say it with more conviction. Do this with your hand as you say it. So anyway, I was telling her this, and I told her, bad mistake. Don't try this at home. I said, most people could learn more about public speaking from strippers than public speaking coaches. I told you, don't try this at home. She took offense of it. I'm just making a joke now. But where I took this, it's kind of true in the sense of a singer that I used to work with used to be a stripper before. We've toured internationally, and anywhere I would step on stage, doesn't matter the country, doesn't matter the preferences of people, when she would step on stage, fully dressed, with a microphone to sing, there would be a shift in the audience, in the room. It would be like, what just happened there? And not just because she was pretty, because there's other pretty girls on stage and there's dancers and a bunch of stuff. There would be something here where physically, energetically, in the way she handles the room and space, there's nothing to hide, even with clothes on. Now, I told this to another, she was a international keynote speaker. I told her that. She said, yeah, I know what you mean, but let's not do that. I'm not saying to do that. Okay? The feeling of being exposed in a big room comes from a fear that I call cubicle-itis, or if you're a deluxe version, if you're a sophisticated, maybe you're in the C-suite, you have, cubicle-itis. Especially business people are expert calibrators. You are an expert negotiator one-on-one. I mean, you don't want to mess with you one-on-one. You say a statement, you calibrate how the person reacts, goes roll to the side, you calibrate eye movements, if they swallow, breathing changes, the color of the face, what they do with their hands. You got peripheral vision to see all that. to make it so that you're not doing that, but that's what you're doing at the same time. All good. 2-on-1, your calibration mechanism is on. So you're used to handling, calibrating, moving your energy, sensing the environment, owning the space in a cubicle. 1-on-1, one table, 2 people in the big office. Cubicle-itis, office-itis. You step on stage, you feel exposed, because now you are to be in charge energetically. You need to stand in your power for a room this big. The imaginary name tag you have at the office that bestows credibility and ethos upon you blows out the window. The second, the beast, the animal, the body, not the spirit or the soul or the eternal consciousness that you are. You are the eternal consciousness, spotless, eternal, immortal. That's not your real nature. But most people don't identify as that. They identify kind of like maybe a soul or maybe a mind or maybe a body. Okay, so whatever you are in that space feels exposed because now you're like, oh, I'm one and there are 333,000. And your energy bubble is so small because of cubicle-itis or office-itis that what you feel is the pressure of the gaze of the audience against your sense of self in your bubble, and multiply that with the fact that your calibration mechanism is out of the water. So the sequence of states and questioning and reasoning and logical traps and the ways that you have of selling and pinning stuff down in the corner to see what people are doing and then adjusting your pitch in real time to what they're saying to get them to move to a decision, you can't do that to an audience. It's a whole different way of moving an audience to action than one person. And you're screwed if you've not been trained. So in short, this is kind of why, in this short little video, most people don't feel safe and why public speaking is so terrifying, because your sense of self is exposed, your calibration is off, you feel the energy against the audience because your sense of self and your energy bubble is smaller than the audience. When you get that to be bigger, now we're starting to talk, and now you can start to what's called command the room. Have the respect of the energy of the room and the audience. To put it simply, how you say what you say is more important than what you say. Everybody says that. So even in the thousands of years that's been doing this in the training, people are still terrified, but everybody knows that how you say what you say is more important than what you say. Who you are speaking to, who's in the audience, is even more important than how you say what you say. You can say it well, but if the audience is unqualified or unresponsive or antagonist to your ideas, it's going to be a hard sell, because influence is measured in degrees. Influence is like 2 degrees, 70 degrees, 75. 100-degree influence is kind of hard. Impact is measured in depth. Impact is measured in depth. How deep did you land the ideas, and how firmly did you land the ideas, and how the ideas clung on and chunked to what they already know, like, trust, and believe, so that you had a deeper impact to move them. And influence is in the degree as to which you kind of swayed or put them in the right direction towards that goal that is aligned with them. So the way you handle the, oh my God, it's hard and I feel exposed and all that lying stuff, which you never do that, it's a bad idea, is you align yourself internally with the best interest of the audience. So when you have the best interest of the audience at heart and you influence them in the right direction like this, you cannot feel exposed, because if they're there to lose weight and you influence them into joining your lose weight program, you help them make a decision they already wanted to make but needed some help to jump over the line. And the way you do this is very different one-on-one from one-to-many. So to recap, how you say what you say is more important than what you say. Who you're speaking to is more important than how you say what you say. But the best one is who you are to who you're speaking to is more important than who you're speaking to. Because remember, you are the captain of your soul, the keeper of your body, and the master of your destiny. So handle yourself in such a way that you have nothing to hide. You deal with those false beliefs. You deal with that anxiety. Stop making negative visualization in HD with slow motion effects a la Hollywood. This takes care of the self-doubt, so next time an opportunity comes your way, you snag it and you keep on rocking in the free world. Godspeed.